Hey, what's going on, fellow hunters? Welcome back to the channel. So first of all, I'm going to have to apologize for this really nasty fever blister I got going on. That morning of youth season, that hot-cold fluctuation or whatever really messed my lip up. I ended up getting a real bad case of chapped lips as well, so it's just something I'm going to have to deal with for a few days. So we just got down here to this real big piece of public in Indiana, and we are going to hunt the first week. Well, I'm going to be up here for probably close to the first week, and then I've got Damien, right? Damien is going to be going with me for the first couple days. We just got our camp set up. We got our tent. We went ahead and put an air mattress in there. We picked one up, so I think our sleeping arrangements are going to be pretty good. The only thing we got to kind of have left is we got to build a fire pit of some sort. Tomorrow is opening day. We're not going to go out for the morning, but we are going to go out in the evening. So we've got 24 hours. 24 hours to get ready for deer season, and we're gonna have a good time. So, what do you think of our campsite? You like it?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that we don't have any signal at all, which really sucks. We're way down here in this bottom, surrounded by a bunch of hills, so it's blocking all the signal. We have to drive out to the road and up the hill to even receive anything. So I had to drive up the hill, let everybody know where I was at, tell them I didn't have any signal, and then now we're back down here. So we're gonna be bored, but that's okay. We'll have some good bonding time. We got our tent all set up. We got our cooler full of food. We got 6 gallons of water. We built a little stone ring for a fire pit. Went and grabbed just a little bit of wood, not a whole lot, but enough to get started. And I got some trash, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to spark up a fire. And that way we can have some hot dogs and stuff for dinner. We've also got some s'more stuff, so we'll make some s'mores while we're out here. I think it's going to be a good time. I'm going to go ahead and put you on a tripod, and we'll go ahead and get this fire started. We finally got our fire going. Proved to be a little more difficult than I had expected, such as this whole trip seems like so far, but everything's going good. We have our camp set up. We're about 3 or 4 minutes from where we want to hunt. We got a fire raging finally, but we don't have any cell phone signal, so we're gonna be bored as hell, but it's okay. All right, we'll just enjoy each other's time. At least we got the fire, we got the tent, we got food, we got water, we got an air mattress. This shouldn't be too bad. This is definitely a lot more glamorous than any of the camping trips I went on as a kid. Hopefully, by about 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to have a deer down. So we're going to be heading in the woods in about 22 hours. So opening day is tomorrow morning. And I think we're going to have a good time. We're going to roast some, what are these? Cheddar grillers. One of Damien's favorites, and I figured it'd be easy camp food, so grabbed a pack of buns and a couple packs of buns, a pack of hot dogs, a pack of these grillers, and we're gonna roast some up, and that's gonna be our dinner for tonight. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, I think what we're gonna do is we're going to boil some water, and we're gonna have the breakfast skillet Mountain House. Is what we're gonna try. What?
It's not even cooking.
It's cooking, it's slow. It takes time. Let's see if we can figure something out. Let's see. It's hot too. And then you can like flip it over here in a little bit, just let it get hot and smoke. I guess I could get me one going too.
Somehow we kept this fire going for like...
I think this fire is going to be a bit of a struggle, just because we don't have as much access to wood as what I really like. I mean, we could find some. I mean, look around us.
You said we don't have that much access to wood. I start looking around like
You're thinking, huh? Are you stupid? We got all kinds of wood.
You don't have to use those rocks. Just like so.
Oh, this will work for now. Whew.
You don't have to stick the throw it up.
We're gonna go the lazy way, and we're gonna cook it like this. That way I ain't gotta stand there and hold it. I didn't get the telescoping. I bought like the cheapest little metal rods we could. They're kind of short, so we got them close enough that they should be cooking. I mean, Damien's already looks like it's halfway warm, so we're doing pretty good. And I don't know if I said this or not, but we got s'mores too. What kind of marshmallows did you get?
The stuffed ones.
Chocolate stuffed marshmallows with chocolate, and then the cinnamon graham crackers. So these are gonna be pretty good. So it's 7:46 and it's opening morning. There was a truck that pulled into the spot that we hunt. That pulled in about 9 o'clock last night. I never saw it leave, so I don't know if they're straight camping right where we plan to hunt. And then this morning there was a guy that went through the same spot that I plan to hunt tonight. So I don't know what that means for us, but it's definitely getting interesting. Damien's still asleep. He'll probably be up any minute. I'm getting our fire going again. But I mean, talking about camping where somebody's going to hunt, we did the same thing to somebody else. So it's public property. It is what it is. I tried not to do that, but it's exactly what I did. The funny thing was, the guy that pulled up here has actually got me on camera and stuff, so he hunts the same area up top where I do. So we're all just kind of out here doing the exact same thing. So as long as we can all kind of intermingle and work together, I think everything will be all right. Okay, we're heading in for our first Indiana hunt of the year. And I guess I just realized that I'm the pack mule. And this little fool over here isn't carrying anything at all. We're heading in. There has been a lot more people in this area than I had expected. But that just seems to be like that's Indiana. Man, there's just pressure. We got a couple scrapes that we're gonna go set over. And when we're getting set up, I'll try to grab a little bit of footage of where we're at. And we'll get set up. We'll get the tripod set up. We'll get all tucked in, and we're just going to hang out all evening and hope something comes through this bottom. Alright, so we're all set down. And we're finishing our setup now. I tried to make this little natural blind and a little bit of this mesh netting. This little camo netting stuff. Try to make us a little natural blind. We're kind of in an awkward position, so that does kind of worry me a little bit. But these deer are going to be super close to us. They come through here, they're going to be 7 yards away. So, I don't know. We'll just sit here and see what happens. I'd say if they're going to come through, it's going to be sometime between 5:30 and 7:30. Alright, so it's evening of day 2, and I forgot my main camera. So Damien and I are sitting up here on this little ridge. And we're overlooking this dry creek bottom. But I don't have a main camera, so I'm going to try to keep this between us and get the camera on and hand it to him if a deer shows up. There was some sign back that way a little bit. We have a scrape line. It ended up turning into about 5 different scrapes. It started to kind of trickle off a little bit over here, but there's a lot of really heavy trails. I do think we'll catch some doe coming through here tonight. But you never know. It always seems like there's deer everywhere until I hunt, and then I can't find anything. I struggle in Indiana every single year. I probably should have started recording this, but so Damien and I switched camps last night, and now it's 7:42 in the morning, and I'm just driving around the property, looking at fields. I did just see a doe come out of a cornfield into some public. It's right here on a real tight corner, so it's actually really easily accessible. So I think if we could get inside of there and just wait for the deer to come through to head across the street near that cornfield, it's going to be our best bet. We'll just shoot them as it goes to cross. Alright, so we're working our way in for the third hunt of the season. It's Damien's last hunt. So I went driving around this morning, just kind of cruising around some local fields, and I caught a deer coming out of this cornfield over here, which is public, or which is private, and then this piece right here is public. So there's just this little tiny, very small hub system right here, and it's surrounded by a bunch of different private cornfields and bean fields and all kinds of food sources. So we're just going to creep up in this little hub system, find some spot to sit up on a ridge and try to shoot down into this bottom. I about guarantee we'll see some does coming through here tonight, but we haven't seen a whole lot so far. Oh, these bugs are terrible. There's Damien. We're gonna work in here and see what happens, so wish us luck. Alright, 3/26, October 4th. So the first 3 days of the season I was with my son Damien, and we had a good time. We saw a couple deer here and there, but nothing I could even really get on film, just a couple of deer butts running off and things of that nature. A couple days ago, Damien was sleeping in, and I went driving around checking local fields. So I had found this spot, and we came in here last night. I think, so the reason I had picked it, for one, it's pretty easy to access. It seems like a little forgotten piece of this public. It's kind of situated, there's a couple hiking trails, and it's situated kind of in between 5 or 6 ag fields. So there's a bunch of hills in the backside, and I believe the deer move off the hills and down through this clear cut that we're going to go into. There's like a staging area before they come out at night. So we're going to work our way in a little deeper than what Damien and I did last night, and we're going to see what happens. For the first 3 days that that Damien and I hunted, we were ground hunting with a crossbow. So I'm pretty eager to get up in the saddle tonight. I haven't done an elevated hunt in a few weeks, and I'm really looking forward to this one. So let's get back in here and see if we can see some deer. Alright, so this is my first saddle hunt of the Indiana season. It's October 4th. The last 3 days I've been out here hunting with my sons. We've been sitting on the ground. We saw a couple deer moving in over here last night, so I decided to go ahead and move in. And I wanted to get up in a tree. I feel so exposed on the ground. This is my preferred method of hunting, so I'm really eager to get here in this Fanatic saddle and go ahead and get up there and give it a crack. It's thick but open in here at the same time. It's open to the point that I could see a long ways, but it's thick in the sense that there's limbs all over the place. That's going to make my shots kind of difficult. get lucky, something will come right down here through this bottom. But there's a couple ridges and hills up behind me, so I gotta be careful that they don't come down. I think they're bedding up over here and back over there. And then they're gonna work their way out there. Due to the lean of the tree, it kept pulling me to this side, so I didn't want to be on this side of the tree because I was gonna have a hard time with it. And I've also got this stuff behind me. Has a good coverage in the back. There's a limb that comes around this way, and this is all pretty wide open. So we're gonna give it a shot tonight and see what happens. I haven't killed an Indiana deer on public property ever, and I haven't killed an Indiana deer since 2020. So I'm getting really eager to go ahead and get it done out here. I don't care if it's a doe or what, but I'm really hoping something will happen tonight. footage of that I got on camera. That camera wasn't working. I know I got that spike on film. So 2 deer come in. One was a spike. I was getting ready to blast him. I thought he was a doe. But there was a fairly decent 8-point buck behind him. Not the biggest deer that I've ever seen in my life by all means, but it was big enough he had my heart pounding. Alright, so the Indiana saga continues. So yesterday morning I went ahead and I took my son back to the house, and then yesterday evening I went out for my first solo hunt of Indiana. I went to the same spot that we had hunted the night before, but I went a little deeper. There's a couple private fields kind of situated around this, what seemed like little forgotten corner of this property. So I worked my way in, there's tons of acorns dropping, and I was assuming a deer were going to work off the hills down into this bottom that I was in. And then right there within the last hour, like clockwork, they start coming down. What looks like a doe and a buck is coming down. It ends up being a spike and a fairly decent, what looks like 8-pointer, nothing monstrous. But so I realized it was a spike. My focus goes over to the buck. He's kind of, I don't know, 33 yards is what I ended up ranging him at. And so I shoot at the buck. It sounds like a hit, but doesn't sound like a great lung pop or anything. He goes running off. I pull up my camera. I'm going to film it. I'm going to film myself like an interview, and I realize that there's this doe working around the ridge, like right towards me, and she hears me talking. So I put the camera back on the camera arm, and she works right up to the base of my tree. She's head bobbing, doing all kinds of stuff, trying to get me to move. Finally, she kind of looks away for a second. I get the bow to full draw, and I fire at her. I thought I hit her, but it actually, with further review of the footage, it zipped right over her back, just barely, but I'm known for shooting over deer's back. So she goes running off. I get down, I end up finding half the broken arrow, and we're looking for the doe because I thought I'd nailed her. We're looking for the doe. Justin comes in because he had come up to hunt with me. Justin comes in, is in there, and we're looking around. We find some blood. So we're thinking it's doe blood. We're following it. It's not making any sense. It seems like it trickles off. So what we do is we work back around. We go to try to find the arrow for the buck. The lighted knock didn't go off, or didn't come on, but I don't believe I was looking in the right area anyways. We couldn't find anything, but I told him the direction I thought he ran. So we're working our way out, and we find some blood. It trickles off. By this point, we're losing all of our lights, like our flashlights. I had 2 that died on me. So the game plan is back out, come back in the morning. So we start working our way out, and I'm checking my cell phone, using OnX to get out of this property. All of a sudden my phone's gone, right? It just drops off in the woods. Of course it's on vibrate, can't find it. We look for like 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, and then by this point we're completely exhausted and I'm dehydrated. I've had enough, right? So we come out. I don't know what to do, so I figure, you know what, go back to camp, sleep it off, and we'll figure out what happens. Right, so I go back to camp, and sure enough, dude, I swear to God, I'm not even making this up, somebody robbed my whole camp. Right, they took my tent, they took my air mattress, my pillow, my blanket, my sleeping bag, my 3D deer target. Derek, they freaking robbed Derek, man. Deer camp mascot, they stole him. It's not even right. They took my cooler, everything in it. Right, there's probably $50-60 worth of food and water and beverages and Red Bull and all kinds of stuff in it. So 1,000% defeated, man. What do you do? So I just turned around and I drove home. My wife's mad, you know what I mean? I lost I lost the deer. I lost my phone. I lost everything at camp. So I slept it off. I decided that when I got up in the morning, I was going to go over to Verizon and see if they could like ping my phone or something, right? So I go in there, and so the associate in the Verizon store, his name was Dale, and he was very, very helpful, and I pray this works out. So what he helped me do was figure out how to use Google, find my device, and he got me the GPS location of this phone. Not only that, you can make the phone ring even if it's on silent for 5 minutes. So I have my son's phone in my pocket. I've got you guys in the camera, and we're gonna go walk back out here. It's been raining all morning, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get back on this deer or not, but that is part of today's agenda. So we're gonna go try to find this phone. We're gonna walk up to the GPS location, activate the phone, and see if we can find it. When I get done here, I'm gonna then call the DNR and report the stolen camp. And then after that, I'm going to figure out whether I should try to track this deer. I don't know. Maybe I'll see some vultures while I'm in here. I have no idea what the plan is. So we're going to go in, try to find this cell phone, and go from there. I'll get back with you when we get to the spot. So, getting pretty close. Following this supposed trail. No wonder it was so difficult last night, because this is not a trail. I don't know why it's marked as a trail, but getting really close. We'll activate the phone, see if it rings. It'd be amazing to be able to just walk out here and pick the phone up like that. That's a S22 Ultra. It's an expensive phone, man. Another thing, so I slept in today. Dude, it's been a bad week. So I slept in today, and I get up late, and all of a sudden I hear the garbage truck coming down the road. So I run outside real quick, I grab the cans, and I go rushing them out barefoot. So the recycling can comes and hits me in the back of the heel, skins a bunch of skin off of it, and it's making this climb freaking brutal. The back of my heel is killing. Supposedly, we're right here. My phone should be right in front of me somewhere. It says it's right here. Alright. I hear it. I found my phone. Look, here it is. Success. I found my cell phone. Yes. There's a win in all this shit. Woo. Alright, so I'm walking back in here to where I shot my buck at last night. It is piss pouring rain, so the likelihood that I'm going to get on any kind of blood trail is slim to none. We kept losing the blood trail last night. We figured we'd come back out in the daylight. So working our way out, we were losing headlamps and flashlights and stuff left and right. We had like, oh god, I thought that was a snake. We had like 5 minutes of light left as far as artificial light before it was going to be pitch black. So we went ahead and backed out. We were going to come back in the morning. I dropped my cell phone on the way out. So there was a big fiasco with that. I do have it back now. I found it out in the middle of the woods using Google Find My Device and a very helpful guy named Dale from the Verizon store. So, man, this rain's really not good to film in. So I got my phone. I had to make the DNR report from all my stolen campsite. You fucking piece of shit. Stole all my shit. Now I'm heading back in. So I'm gonna get over here to the tree where I shot the deer. I'm gonna pull up the footage on my phone to try to have a bigger screen, see exactly where that deer ran, and maybe we'll stumble across him in the daylight. I highly doubt it, but it's worth a shot. At least I gotta do my due diligence as a hunter. I made the shot. I gotta look for this deer. Driving back to the house now, soaking wet. I did end up finding my phone. I had to create a report with the Indiana DNR about all the stuff stolen out of my camp. Again, that is not cool, man. If you did something like that, you'd be a better person. Because one of these days somebody's going to catch you doing something like that, and it's going to be bad. But I walked around in the hills back and forth for about 2 hours, hour and a half probably. It's pouring rain. I knew there was no way that I was going to find any kind of blood trail, but I was just hoping that maybe if I walked back and forth across those hills that maybe I'd see something. But it ended up being a pretty tough 4 days. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see what happens soon.